Hello, I'm Jeffrey Ham, equity analyst for Briefing.com. Today is Thursday, March 6th. Stocks traded lower today in choppy fashion, finishing at the session's worst level. The negative tone was evident from the start. Futures were weighed down in pre-market activity as a result of negative headlines in the financial sector. The prevailing negative sentiment proved too much to overtake with better than expected sales results from key retailers and mixed economic data. Prior to the opening bell, word surfaced Swiss banking giant UBS sold a portfolio of Alt-A securities at distressed prices, which would result in additional write-downs. Merrill Lynch was thrown into the fire when the company disclosed it amended the terms of a series of its liquid yield option notes. Shares of Merrill Lynch hit a new 52-week low. Those items outweighed consideration paid to Walmart and Target. Both companies announced same-store sales for February that were better than Wall Street anticipated. Walmart was the only member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average to finish in positive territory. The morning's economic data was mixed, and investors opted to focus on the negative components. Jobless claims for the week ended March 1st totaled 351,000, which is less than the 360,000 claims economists were expecting. The number of initial claims was down from the prior week's revised count of 375,000 jobless claims. Housing starts for January were flat month over month. That was better than economists had expected, as the consensus called for a 1% downturn. Pending home sales in December were revised higher from a 1.5% decline to a 1.2% decline. However, mortgage delinquencies in the fourth quarter totaled 5.82%. That measure was the worst since 1985. Delinquencies totaled 5.59% for the prior reading. Consumer financial services company Washington Mutual was slapped with some negative news of its own today. Rating agency Standard & Poor's lowered its long-term counterparty credit rating on Washington Mutual to BBB from BBB+, as well as the long-term counterparty credit rating on Washington Mutual Bank to BBB+ from A-. Standard & Poor's also placed all Washington Mutual ratings on Credit Watch with negative implications. Large tech names had provided leadership to the Nasdaq early in the session. Apple and Oracle were the most influential in propping up the tech sector amid the broader market's downturn. Shares of Oracle remained positive throughout the session after being upgraded from neutral to buy at Merrill Lynch. As for Apple, buying interest in the company faded into the afternoon and pushed the stock into negative territory by the day's end. Shares of Apple are down more than 37% year-to-date. The dollar continued to falter against international currencies. The dollar index slipped 0.7% today. Contributing to the dollar's decline was the decision by the European Central Bank and the Bank of England to stand pat on their benchmark interest rates. ECB President Trichet gave indication that future interest rate cuts are currently unlikely. Crude prices continued to trade at record levels. Oil prices took out another record high early in the morning, hitting $105.97 per barrel. Crude prices settled modestly higher on the NYMEX, finishing 88 cents higher at $105.44 per barrel. The 10-year Treasury note benefited from safety seekers today. 10-year notes finished up 24 ticks, translating to a yield of 3.58%. I'm Jeffrey Ham for Briefing.com. Thanks for listening and have a great evening.